It's no secret that I love to eat. Unfortunately, loving to eat is a notion that has consequences that aren't really well respected within the modern world of the fitness community and the modern expectations of what the optimal man should be. Throughout the years, I've been trying to get lean. I've done every single method under the sun. I've tried eating ice cubes. I've tried fasting. I've tried eating an extremely low number of calories. I'm talking 900 calories a day for like a couple weeks. And if you're the type of person like me who just struggles to lose the weight and get to the ideal body fat percentage, then these are some uncommon strategies that go beyond the typical eat less than you expend and high volume foods and everything. These are the unsung heroes of the lean maxing protocol that got me from this to this. Now, I'll be honest, that photo is still not where I want to be. That photo that you're probably seeing on the screen is probably highly edited, peak lighting, peak pump, barely any food in my system, probably just did a sauna as well to really hide my true body fat percentage, which unfortunately is most of what the fitness community has been compromised of. Look, I'll be honest, I'm not the leanest guy in the world, but that's kind of exactly why you should listen to me. If you look at all these fitness influencers with their perfect genetics, where they can just do the basics and get away with it, that's not always feasible for the regular person. And it can get really demotivating watching all the TikToks saying, oh, just eat less calories than you expend. Oh, just eat more vegetables, eat high protein. And you try that for months and then you get a little bit of progress, but at some point you just plateau and you don't know what to do. And you can't just keep lowering your calories forever. And don't get me wrong, it's definitely a physics problem. You do need to expend more than you eat. No one's beating thermodynamics with these strategies. But when you've just been doing the basics for so long, you start to slip up and you don't even notice it. That's when you have to bring in these auxiliary secondary strategies that aren't as popular, but still really, really can help. Now, I want to start off with the strategy that's the most practical and that's actually helped me the most, which is eating windows. Now, you've probably heard of this before, but there's a reason why it's so popular, because it fucking works. For me, personally, I do not eat my first meal until around 11 in the morning. Why is that? Because I've noticed I'm equally hungry through the day if I start eating at 11 a.m. or if I start eating at 7 a.m. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I wake up at 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and the first thing I want to do is just stuff myself and sedate myself with a massive breakfast, which I have done before, and I won't lie, I did do it a few days ago. And yes, I do definitely regret it, and yes, it did feel good in the moment, but about an hour later, you do not feel good. Starting your day off with a massive meal soon as you wake up is just such low-hanging fruit for discipline. After sleeping, there's this little window where your discipline and your willpower hasn't really woken up yet. You're still in that comfortable, relaxed zone of just wanting instant pleasures and you haven't really gotten the momentum of the day yet. So if you can get past that first little spike, if you can label it, identify it consciously and realize, I'm feeling really hungry, this is a sign that I should follow my routine and push through. As soon as you get over that first little craving of not gorging yourself with food, then it kind of subsides. And if you've been cutting for a while, you realize is that hunger, it's not this steady flow of just, I'm hungry. It's, you don't feel anything, you feel completely fine, and then it ramps up so quickly, you feel so hungry, you feel so weak, it feels like you just want to absolutely stuff yourself and obliterate your digestion system and fry your taste buds. But if you just get over that, then it goes away. And after about maybe 20 minutes, you can just not eat. And you would have been the same level of satiated had you ate during that period. Now, in general, just restricting your eating window to a particular time, it gives you less opportunity to mess up. Instead of having a regular amount of meals throughout the day, that gives you more opportunities to mess up. If you're someone who's really been struggling to get consistent, you need to treat this as life or death. Think about this. If you went skydiving every day, that's an opportunity for you to just fucking die, right? So if instead of going skydiving once every day, you go skydiving once a week, that's 6 times less the opportunity for you to die. Maybe that's a little bit extreme for what we're talking about. The less of an eating window you have, the harder you set your boundaries, the less time you have to mess it up. Now, some people might say, oh, just have a light breakfast, have small light meals every 3 to 4 hours and you'll be fine. For me, when I start eating, it can be hard to stop eating. So the less time you have to eat, the less likely you are to mess it up. And this goes without saying, of course, all the mental focus benefits that you get from fasting in the morning. Your digestion system isn't taking up like 20% of your brain power and calories, and you're not feeling all bloated and brain foggy. And same thing in the evenings. Typically my last meal would be about around 5 or 6 p.m., which gives me a few hours before bed so my digestion cool off. Because when you're in a calorie deficit, sleep is really important to make sure your energy and hormone levels and even your hunger stays regulated. Your sleep quality dramatically increases. But not even that, literally nothing good happens in the kitchen past like 8 p.m. You just start getting weird. The thing is that I've ate late at night, daily level of willpower and discipline for the day has been completely depleted, and I go into the kitchen and pantry and I don't even have any junk food or anything lying around, which is another tip, don't have the fucking Oreos in the pantry, or at least not where you can see them. You want to create as many little barriers for you to avoid doing what you should be doing, read Atomic Habits. If you just have a strict deadline, like after this time, I'm not eating. Before this time, I'm not eating. You don't start coming up with these rationalizations like, oh, maybe just a little sweet treat at the end of the day, it'll help me fall asleep. I've kind of haven't hit my protein goal for the day. Let me go slam like 3 protein bars. It does more damage to you in the long term. Now, the second strategy is if you are in a rapid calorie deficit and you need to lose weight fast and you have basically lowered your calories to as much as a link below a calorie calculator that'll tell you how much you need for essential functioning and to make sure your hormones aren't getting smashed. Now for me, I'm around 82 kilos at 6'2". That's what I tell the ladies. My essential calories are somewhere around 1700, 1800s. If I start going below that, that's the bare minimum for you before your hormones and your sex drive and your motivation just completely plummets. And at that point, if you're still not seeing the results, which has happened for me for periods of time, the only thing you can do is increase your activity expenditure, which is why the second strategy in this video is step maxing. Walk as much as you can. For about 3 weeks, I had a period when I was doing 20,000 steps a day, every single day, which was absolutely absurd. Cutting was my full-time job. I swear to God, I would literally wake up and then I would just be walking and walking and walking just around the block, listening to like podcasts and stuff. It was crazy. I was preparing for a holiday trip. But that is the period of time where I actually had my best results, and I was still able to eat basically as much as I needed to keep me from going insane. I didn't push my calories down super low. I recommend walking because it's the least taxing on your energy, and humans are endurance creatures. You can walk and walk and walk forever. Like, no one comes home from a walk and is like, oh, I'm so dead, I need to just lie down for 4 hours and eat a bunch of ice cream and shit to refuel. It doesn't happen. And walking's got its own benefits like increased mood and cognition, helps with your digestion as well. So basically, just walk as much as possible. Work your way up. 10,000 steps for me a day was pretty easy. I was doing that pretty much every day for on and off for a few months. And then I bumped it up to 15,000 steps a day, see how that felt, see if I had the time for it, which was a little harder. And then I did that for about a week or 2 weeks, and then I bumped it up to 20,000, which was pretty damn hectic. But that strategy basically saved me because I know how I feel and how I respond to eating like 1,500, 1,200 calories a day. Like, it's not good. All you do is think about food. And when you just increase your activity level, you can still eat a lot of food and keep your hormones nice and good and have yourself fueled for the gym and everything, which is a bit of a paradox. Like, how is all this activity that's burning calories not making you just as hungry as having less food? I'm not really sure why. I guess it's just from kind of the habit of eating food is kind of more impactful on your hunger state than the actual calories itself, if that makes sense. So if you're just used to eating a lot of food, you love food, you're a foodie, you have a high food drive, keeping that and increasing your activity level is much more sustainable psychologically. Now, the last tip on this list is the one that you can really push the throttle up with and can honestly save you if you always feel like you're not eating enough and you're always hungry. And you might have heard of fitness influencers talking about, increase the volume of your food, or have some veggies, eat some fruits. Well, this is the extreme version of that I call vegetable maxing. Basically, most vegetables, especially leafy greens, Things like capsicum, kale, spinach, eggplant, cucumber. These foods basically have barely any calories. And if you look at any weight loss recipe on TikTok or whatever, it'll be like some chicken breast with some rice and a couple bits of asparagus on the side. And I've always wondered, if vegetables are such a satiety hack, why don't you just eat a fucking shitload of vegetables? Vegetables still contain carbs. So why don't you just make vegetables your primary carb source? Obviously not before the gym. Obviously you should probably have some fast digesting carbs like some rice or some fruit. But aside from that, literally just crank your vegetables up by 5 to 10 times more than what you're eating. And not only will you have all your vitamin and mineral needs met, which you probably haven't been doing, you can literally eat a bag of mixed leaves for like something like 50 calories for the whole bag, like a big ass bag. I literally remember hanging out with my friends and we went out to the beach or something and we went into the store to buy some food. And I literally I went in and I bought a bag of carrots, a 1 kilo bag of carrots. And I bought some chicken salt to season them. And I went to the beach and I ate that. Holy shit, bro. I was so insanely stuffed. And dude, a kilo of carrots is like 300 calories or something. And bro, it's a kilogram of carrots, dude. Carrots are crazy. Now, obviously, I don't recommend that. You're gonna completely nuke your digestion. Your stomach's gonna go crazy. But for shorter periods, eat as much vegetables as you possibly can, and then some. That'll just fix your satiety and your psychological craving for eating food. Whenever you feel like you want to go have a snack, bro, just have some vegetables and some 0-calorie sauce or some seasoning and you'll be good. My go-to method, which hasn't really been talked about, is in the shops. You can get these bags of frozen vegetables like some broccoli, cauliflower, peas, carrots, like mixed in the bag. And what I would do is I would pour it out into a bowl around 300 grams or something, which I'll have the calories up for on the screen, which is not a lot. And then have some chicken breast or some tuna or some lean ground beef with that. Chuck a bunch of seasoning and sauce onto that and I would eat that. And bro, even like for a guy with me with a crazy high food drive, dude, I was just as full as if I would have just ate a bowl of like pasta or rice for like 700 calories that I do with like a vegetable salad concoction for like 200 calories. So just think about that. That's like 500 calories you're saying. Now, my last bonus tip, this is extreme, really psychologically demanding, but it fucking works, is flavor min-maxing. Make your diet as boring as possible. Cut out all the seasonings, all the sauces, not because they have calories. The calories aren't even the problem. Like, bro, some low sugar ketchup's got like 20 calories for like multiple servings. Like, if you can rewire your taste buds to just expect food that is bland and does not taste nice, you will be way more satiated. Like, imagine, what would be more satiating? You have some chicken breast and some salad, just plain, bland, no seasoning, nothing at all, maybe a bit of salt. Or you have like 5 different sauces, you got the best fucking garlic herb, steak rub seasoning, chicken salt, Tabasco, barbecue sauce. Like, most hunger is just a dopamine craving. It's not even a desire for hunger, for energy. You're just craving that little bit of pleasure. And if you just make your foods a lot more boring and bland, you feel so much fuller and you literally just don't even want to eat it. And when you're just sitting in your room and you're like, damn, I could really go for a snack right now. I could eat. And then you kind of just think like, well, I can have a cucumber. I can have some boiled potatoes. That doesn't sound appealing to me at all. If you don't have all these fancy, flavorful sauces and seasonings, trust me, that curbs your hunger more than anything I've mentioned on this list. But it's very unsustainable and your life will feel pretty miserable. But you will get the results you want, which is what this video is about. So to summarize, eating windows, have a strict deadline when you start eating and when you stop eating, so you can have big crazy meals that leave you full and satisfied, and you just know that there is a cutoff window that eliminates most of the chances for you to fuck up. Second strategy is the walk maxing, step maxing, least intense form of cardio, most sustainable form of cardio, probably the most enjoyable as well for most people. You can multitask, do your work, really good, burns calories, really easy to do. Third strategy, vegetable max. Eat as many vegetables as you possibly can. Eat way more than you think you need to. Base all your meals around having vegetables. Replace all of your carb sources with vegetables, and trust me, you'll be full. If you need help with any of this, or you just want to share your story, comment down below what has helped you the most, what you're struggling with, any banger recipes you got. If you need more help, check out that link in the description. We've got a community where we help young men gain muscle, gain confidence, get their dream body, and get all the support they need. That'll be all for now. Cheers, bro.